What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here, back with another NBA 2K26 video, another episode of Rare Builds for you guys. Now, every year I try to always get in the builder and make two builds every single year. I try to always get in the builder and make a jack of all trades type of build, and then I always try to get into the builder and make a prospect, raw prospect, whatever you want to call it, type of build. And this year is no different. So with that being said, today I'm bringing you guys a raw athlete build. Okay, so if you can, please drop a like on the video as it helps the channel to grow. And with that being said, let's jump straight into the build. Now, obviously, you can make this build at whatever position you want. I chose to make it at small forward because I feel like small forward gets the, better, well-balanced physicals. When you go guard, you're going to get, like, more speed, but you're obviously going to get less on the strength. As you can see, that's dropping. Whereas with small forward, you're still going to be a really good athlete. You're still going to have really high vert. You're going to have high strength. And then you're also going to have pretty decent speed. As you see, the speed drops off isn't that crazy. You still could get like 90 speed, 90 agility. Height, I left it at 6'7", but you can play around with the height. Weight, I left it at 215, and then wingspan, I left everything pretty much default, but you can play around with this to get better stats if you want more strength, more speed, or whatever. You can tweak that around. And then the first thing I did was I maxed out the physicals. I maxed out everything on the physicals. I maxed out speed. I maxed out agility. I maxed out vert, so that way, you are going to be a raw athlete. And if you want to be an athlete, you're going to have the physicals to be the athlete. And then from there, I just maxed out everything to make it even. So for the finishing, I went 72 on the finishing for everything. Now, keep in mind, some of these stats you're not going to be able to get exactly. You're going to have to put some extra points here and there. But for the shooting, same thing. I went 72, and then I think for the free throw, I believe I was like 73 or 74, maybe even 75. I'll do 74 for right now, and if I got to tweak it, I'll tweak it. For the playmaking, everything was, I think, 72, if I'm not mistaken. And then speed with ball, 72. And then interior defense was 73, and I think the steal was 73, and then everything else was 72. I think perimeter was 72, and then the block was 72, like that. And then finally for the rebounding was 73 across the board as well too. So 73, and then boom, there you have it. So we have a 99 potential. Now, before I make this build, I just want to say that honestly, in previous years, a build like this was absolutely atrocious, right? But if you look at this build and you look at like the badges, right? You got silver box out beast, bronze rebound chaser, you got off ball pass, bronze challenger, silver immovable enforcer. This build honestly is not that bad, especially when you factor in you got a bevy of max plus ones and max plus twos this year. You're gonna have well over 20 cap breakers that you can get, and realistically for most of you guys, you're going to be able to have access to about 15 cap breakers, give or take. Like, without hitting the crazy high rep levels, you should still have access to about 15 cap breakers at a minimum throughout the year. You're going to have access to 9 cap breakers by default from just hitting 40 in the season pass. So that's 9, right? And then you got your specialization, whichever you choose, whether it's finishing, shooting, playmaking, or defense. Those are going to be an extra 2 cap breakers, so that's 11 cap breakers. And then you got, like, the lifetime challenges, which, let's say you hit 1, that's 12 cap breakers. And then, you got rookie 5, I think, and then, like, starter 3, starter 5. So you have a bevy of cap breakers. At a minimum, everybody should reach around 12 to 15 cap breakers, and then that's not even talking about, I think, the crew cap breakers as well too, which you get 4 in there. So again, everybody should reach a minimum of like 15 cap breakers. In previous years, a build like this would be absolute utter dog shit. I'm not gonna hold y'all, but this year, with the way cap breakers are, bro, you can bring your 3 up, you could bring your ball handle, your pass, your defense, and then whichever your specialization in, you're getting a max plus 2 and a max plus 1, you can throw that up. So a build like this, even though, again, like I said, you're looking at the badges, you're getting, interceptor, you're getting a decent amount of badges. You're missing out on like maybe what, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 badges, and then even with cap breakers you can get those badges back, so you're not really even missing out on those badges, you know, because you can just you put your perimeter up 1 and you're now getting pick dodger, you know, put your perimeter up 2 and you're now having on ball menace, and then, you know, max +1, max +2, you now have silver or gold on ball menace, Hall of Fame, immovable enforcer, etc., etc. So even though you have low attribute ratings, you know, or mid, I should say, attribute ratings, you could still turn a build like this around. So I'm thinking at some point I might make me a raw athlete just for the meme of it, you know. But here you go, raw athlete. We see Julius Erving, Xavier McDaniel, and Gerald Wallace. Go-to badges are pogo stick, legend, slippery off ball, and silver brick wall. Top attributes obviously are physicals, vertical, speed, strength. And the strength says a real transition thread, glides in tight spaces smoothly, pause. Tough as nails, leaps like gravity is an option, and weaknesses is not a dunker because you have a 72 driving dunk, 72 standing dunk, which I wouldn't consider that not a dunker. But if you notice, you really don't have any weaknesses besides them saying you can't dunk. So again, this is one of those builds that I'm probably definitely going to make at the end of the year, just to see, once I have all of my cap breakers, just how broken you can make a build like this. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to slap a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.